Iain Valliere posted on his Instagram the improvements he made from last year's off season to this year's off season, and he's like us. Last year he had gotten up to 288 pounds at the end of the year, and then on the right is this year he got up to 303.
What's up guys, back again with me in my YouTube channel Joan in the Bodybuilding podcast session. So today guys, we gonna see and we gonna watch Chris Aceto as one of guru and coach of competitors. So many competitors that he handled. Cannot count how many, how much he handled for his athletes. And Joan Romano and Palumbo. We all know that this guy is really, we can say the expert, okay? Expert when it comes to the bodybuilding, and they always approach about training, about diet, about maybe a little bit talk and discussion that you all don't like about them and you all don't like from here to them. But we're gonna see right now what they thinking about Iain Valliere, Nick Walker, and Hunter Labrada. Before we go jump up into it, please click the bell button, ring that bell. I'm gonna bring more anything that we can talk and discuss in the whole topic of bodybuilding and fitness. Let's watch what Chris Aceto and Palumbo and Joan Romano said about Iain Valliere, Nick Walker, and Hunter Labrada, the younger coming up bodybuilder.
So, and his body can hold that muscle. Obviously, he's a big guy, big frame. The question I have to you guys is: are we seeing the ushering in of a new era of like mass monsters? We have Nick Walker, Iain Valliere looks like a little mini Dorian here. We have Hadi Chupin's short, but he's a thick dude. Obviously, Big Ramy's a monster. Are we going to see like the big guys return? Because for a while we didn't have that. We had the Rodens and the Phil Heaths and more of the aesthetic Dexters. Are we seeing the mass guys coming back again?
Yeah, I love the freak monster of competitors. I love, the bigger guy, the freak and the monster guy in the Olympia on stage. Okay, I love them. Well, maybe from the Palumbo, Chris Aceto, and Joan Romano really love, some kind of like the aesthetic guys, the more separation, more detail. Come on, guys, when you're holding a lot of the muscle, like a freak monster, like a Iain Valliere, Nick Walker, we can say right now as an example. I think they have more majority and they have more detail. They have more separation. Come on guys, okay, more than old school guy like maybe we can say like a Franco Colombo, like a Arnold Schwarzenegger, they don't have some kind of the conditioning and the detail and the majority separation from this guy right now, from this modern. Come on, I love modern bodybuilder right now. Even they more freak, even they more bigger. Well, don't get me wrong, I love Sean Roden, I love Phil Heath, I love Dexter Jackson physique, but it's not different, okay? They still modern. They still modern bodybuilder, not like the old school guy like Dorian Yates, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levroni, right? I love modern bodybuilder right now more than old school.
Well, I mean, based on yes and no. I mean, just to defend, Phil and Roden would wax everyone who's up there.
Forget who's better. I'm just saying, are we seeing bigger guys coming back now? The big dudes like we saw in the '90s and the early 2000s.
I mean, it's not like we didn't have mass monsters. I mean, I don't know. Did you think Iain is bigger than Rolly at his best?
Literally, to be honest, guys, when I heard Chris Aceto really always give his opinion, I think he really much don't know about he's talking about, okay? So much word and so much, some kind of like what he said, but himself, he don't know talking about, okay? This is really, I'm not understand, okay?
I don't think it's close.
Well, I'm not saying who's bigger.
I mean, that's not to discount Iain is not a mass monster.
Size becoming more, because, and it usually is dictated, Chris, by who's Mr. Olympia. So that's who they're chasing, right? So when you see Ramy, I mean, how do you beat Ramy? You got to come in bigger, right, than Ramy.
I think that you have Ramy, and then you have Nick Walker. So that's the template for who the fans are excited about and who the judges are excited about.
But now they've got a division that's focused. Nothing's totally on aesthetics. I think that gives the mass monsters, the freaks, the green light to go ahead and, man, let's get as big as we possibly can. Nobody cares about aesthetics and lines anymore. They have another division for that. We can just go ahead and chase mass to the end of whatever we can do.
What the hell are you talking about, John? Okay, you think now modern bodybuilder, they don't have some kind of like the line, they don't have some kind of like the details, separation, the conditioning? What the hell are you talking about? Okay, are you really serious about that? They more detail and they more condition that old school. Okay, open your eyes, John. Open your eyes.
I mean, look at those legs of Nick Walker. I mean, I love huge freaky legs. And we don't. It hasn't been that many guys recently that had those crazy legs like we've seen back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Walker had. I mean, you could tell this guy freaking squats and does seriously heavy weights with those legs.
Agree. If you're talking about legs, if you're talking about quads, Nick Walker have really great quads. One of the least and one of the best quads right now that we have in this era right now, right? We still have Carlos Thomas, we can say we still have Remy, and we still have Nick Walker too. Hadi Chupan quad is really, not bad. It's really awesome. Justin Rodriguez and Hunter, maybe we can say.
I'm telling you, I think we're going to see. I think that Ramy, even though Ramy may not go down as the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time, I think Ramy will go down as the guy who brought back mass again.
Dorian 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's just making these guys realize that they're not going to beat him unless they're bigger than him. And as long as he's in there and comes in reasonably good conditioning, he's going to keep winning the Olympia because who's bigger than him? How does a judge take away the Olympia from Ramy if he comes in shape? He's the biggest guy. Yeah, he's got back deficits. His waist is not as small as it was, in 2013. But who cares? I mean, he's still better, pretty much everyone else that's up there. You don't have any guy like Sean Roden coming in or Flex Wheeler who's just, going to outperform him at this point.
Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Finally, you really making some kind of like the make sense statement. Yeah, exactly. That's really makes sense. Finally, okay. I'm really, bored when you all guys really, you all don't know what you all talking about. Come on. I'm really, got boring.
Hunter looks like he's put on some good weight. 252 versus 282 right there. Obviously, one is right before he competed, but that's a lot of size for him. I don't think he's ever been that big. And he's pretty lean, 282.
Yeah.
And I think in the next 2-3 years, we're going to see some big, freaky guys again on stage. I love it. I love the fact. I didn't think we were going to get back to that, to be honest with you. I thought everyone was abandoning ship on that one, but evidently not.
I think Hunter Labrada is not one of the biggest guy and one of the freak guy, we can say, right? Because Hunter Labrada is really give more attention for proportion, for symmetry. That's what I think, okay? But for his improvement from his last year to this year, I think from 252 to 285 is really amazing. More than 30 pounds he gained in 1 year. Really? 30 pounds more than 1 year? It's almost, impossible that so much people can doing, right?
Everyone was kind of doing the same, just take the drugs, do the workouts, and kind of coast. And no one was, you didn't even hear people talking about training. Guys were talking about, Hani was talking about his FST7 pump workouts, but there was no, talk about, let's see how many, aside from maybe Akeem Williams and Dallas McCarver who were lifting ridiculously heavy weights, you didn't hear from it. Now it's everyone is in the gym pushing their, balls to the wall. I got to add mass. I got to put size on. Not 5 pounds every year. We got to put 10, 15 pounds on every year, which is what you should be doing when you're in your 20s and early 30s. That's the years to grow.
Whatever you said, Dave, whatever you said, you thinking all of the competitors and all of the modern bodybuilder right now just, talking about drugs, just taking drugs too much and not talking about training. Well, you got wrong, Dev. Okay, do you think Hunter Labrada not really give attention for his training? Do you think Iain Valliere and do you think Nick Walker, they don't really give them attention for their training? I mean, like, what the hell are you talking about, Dev? Whatever you said, okay, whatever you wanna talking about, say it. You gotta get shout from all modern bodybuilder if you really, I always say this. So that's the dish that I want to tell to all of you guys. Okay, more than a half, I really don't agree with the Palumbo and John Romano said and opinion about and their statement. But yeah, we just talking and discussion, right? I wanted to hear what you all guys thinking and what you all guys opinion. Do you guys really agree with Dave Palumbo, John Romano, and Chris Aceto said about and their opinion about Iain Valliere, Nick Walker, and Hunter Labrada? This is just discussion, right? This is just discussion. Everyone have a subcolor opinion. And I wanted to hear from your opinion. I'm already give my opinion. Thank you so much guys for watching. I'm your host Joan Sagala signing out. May God bless you all.